Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I wish you could see us right now. Maybe we'll take a behind the scenes B roll clip, but I'm in bed with Val.
Hello. Hello. I'm so excited to be here. We're like under the covers, like half under the
I
covers.
know, I'm going to get fully under.
We are
and
at the
chill.
Ritz in Paris.
Yes.
Right now.
If you can hear the comforter
Moving
around, that's what's happening. But we're at the Ritz. We just finished. Well, this is the last thing we're doing in the VIP weekend. And this is a little bit behind the scenes that you get to see. So it's selfishly for Val, this is what I just said to her, but you get to see like, okay, what's been happening this weekend, what she's been doing, how she's taking everything that she's learned this weekend, integrated, embodied, and taking it into her business for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. So you guys are in for a really, really special treat. And you shared with me that at breakfast this morning that last year you listened to a podcast that I did with another client at a VIP weekend, and then you were like, I'm in.
I need to do that. Exactly. I think I saw the behind the scenes on your stories.
Okay.
And then obviously the podcast came out and I was like, oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. A weekend, a luxury hotel somewhere in the world to just like, bring everything to the next level. So I remember telling myself like, I don't know when, but this is my next investment with Bridget. I'm doing a VIP weekend. Like masterminds are great, programs are great, all that, but there's probably nothing like being in the flesh, in person, private. So we made it happen a couple months later.
Yeah.
I booked my VIP weekend.
In December.
Yeah, 10 months ahead of time because I was like, I'm committing to this.
Yeah. And that's something we've been talking a lot about this weekend. We keep hearing these themes of timeless.
Yes.
And that you investing 10 months ago into this, most people would be like, oh, I need to wait to decide, or super last minute type of humans, which is sometimes last minute. That frequency is really fun and exciting, but what we've been talking about is like long term freedom in leaving a legacy, freedom in your day-to-day life, like years to come.
Yes.
So okay, share with my audience. Let's just first go into your brand and what it is and what you are known for, and then let's go into like, okay, what's your plan or vision for refining and defining it after this weekend?
Yes. So my brand has evolved so much in the last 5 years. So I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 5 years, and a big theme has always been to offer women freedom.
Yeah.
And that's why I resonated almost immediately with your message of Freedom Queen. I was in India and I received this message from God, from the universe, saying you're going to teach women how to build ultimate freedom in their lives. And I didn't know what it looked like. It first looked like freedom from, from food and like loving their body. So like, a relationship with food and their body that is built in freedom. And then it became how to find your purpose. And then I started building this business and started making really good money, like 5-figure months. And people came to me and they were like
immediately.
Immediately people wanted me to help them build their freedom-based business. How did you build this business model that allows you to be only a few hours a month on calls and fill out those programs and make this amount of money and travel the world? And I became a mom in 2022. That's when I found you, and I was like, I need to build an even stronger freedom-based business model.
Yeah.
And you had that, and you had that fire, and you were that living permission for me. And now that's exactly what I do. I teach female business owners, coaches, service providers how to build freedom-based business where you don't need to be on coaching calls multiple hours a month, like a week. Some people are like hours a day. I'm talking 3 to 4 hours a month, where you can scale. A month.
Let that sink in.
Yes, I'm on coaching calls 3 to 4 hours a month, not a day, not a week, a month.
Yes.
Where you can scale 1 to 2 core one-to-many signature offers and ditch the one-on-one if you want, ditch the high-level masterminds if they're not your jam, and really have like unlimited volume and exponentially grow your income from there without ever having to add more work. And that's been a passion of mine because I have chills right now. Like that's exactly what I'm building. I have a son. He's 2 years old. I'm
He's
pregnant.
so cute. He came.
She actually just met him. Which they're in my room at the Ritz right now, taking a nap. We're all a little sick, if you can hear in my voice, but that's fine. We're all up leveling. That's fine.
Yes, the ascension sickness.
Yes. So I'm 16 weeks pregnant. So I'm about to have a second baby next year. So that was clear to me that I'm building even more freedom for myself, for my family, and for the women in my world, and the women who are looking for this type of lifestyle where they can have babies.
Yes.
That's one of my slogan, business with babies.
Yeah.
They have babies, they can travel the world like we do, and have their business support them. And have their business support their life. Yes. So that's what I do. And I love it. And I'm in this, obviously with this VIP weekend, I'm in this up level where we're shifting the identity. We're bringing the brand to a new level, to a more high-end, luxury, elevated experience. And it's been feeling so good.
I mean, we've been having the time of our lives. And something I know is a common objection for people that want to build, you know, whether you say like elevated experiences or something we've been talking about is timeless or luxury or high end, people immediately think, oh, it has to be luxury. But that's not really what luxury is. And although we've been doing all this weekend mostly luxury things, like this is luxury.
Yes.
But like this morning, us doing this podcast together, luxury at high end elevate is like depth, storytelling, relationship, connection, intention, and everything that we've been doing this weekend has been that.
Yes. I feel like you said it. For me, there was this shift in how I view luxury. And I told you yesterday, I was like, I am committing to giving myself a luxury experience every quarter.
Yeah.
And now that I'm traveling through Europe with my family for the next 2 months, we're going to in the south of France, and we're going to Italy, casual, you know? I'm like, I think for both those destinations, which are amazing, I'm going to bring my family 1 day or 2 days in a luxury experience.
Yes.
Because luxury is more than spending money, being frivolous, you know, showing off, or like this thing you don't need, you know? Some people will say, I don't need luxury to be happy. And of course, you don't need it.
No.
But luxury elevates everything because it's not about the money, how much it's worth, like the material, or it's about the intention. It's about the story and the beauty. And those three things are what makes life wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think it really landed when we went to Dior to do this private shopping experience, where it's my first time having like a private shopping experience in a high-end store. And we go in this private room that's like hidden in the wall.
The door is in the wall, so you can't tell it's the door.
So beautiful. And one of the like, it's not just here's what you can buy and like that's the price. It's like here's the story behind the creator Christian Dior.
Yes.
Here's the story behind that collection.
I love how
Christian.
you said that.
Yeah, I say Christian Dior. That's how you say it. Yeah, because he's French, right? And when she started telling us the story of this superstitious man that believes in the stars, that believes in having a lucky charm on him all the time, I have chills, that believes in 8 as his lucky number, the infinity, and where everything is infused in every piece, I was like, this is why you buy the luxury item.
I'm crying.
This is why you buy the luxury item. And I have this beautiful necklace, I'm wearing it right now. And I'm like, okay, this is why I'm going to get more pieces one day.
Yeah.
Because of the story. And then I have a story behind that necklace too now. Mm-hmm. And that really landed for me. And I was like, that's what I want to create in my business. Yeah. That's the luxury piece for me in my business. It's not like, it's so expensive, it's so this, it's so that. It has this type of branding with shiny things. No, it's, you come in and there's a story that's being created and you elevate your own story as well.
The story of Dior was amazing, where he fell to the ground. Yes. Like there was the challenge, the wars going on, and then fell to the ground, and basically then was said, okay, I'm going to go all in on the business and invest. Yes. Like he didn't have, I think he went into debt. Yes. Something like that, and then
it was very risky. Yes, that's what it was, because it was the end of the war, so people didn't have money. People were like kind of getting back on their feet.
Wow.
And see, he fell on the ground and hurt himself.
Yeah.
And it was it was May 8th.
Yeah.
Something, and that was his favorite number. So he was like, I fell on the ground, hurt myself. People looked at me, but because it's an 8,
Yeah.
and I saw some signs, that's my sign to go.
Right. He saw it as the way.
You didn't see it as, because people could say I fell. That's thank God I'm not.
Right.
I'm not starting business because
Yeah.
I'm so unlucky right now.
Right.
But that was the opposite for him. It's like I fell.
Yes.
So I'm doing it.
Yes. And then we learned about, because he kept the lucky charms in his pocket, and so
Yes.
people would hear them, and that's why on the bags they have the charms, but
Yes.
also the
The
what would you
attachments,
call them?
yeah.
They like jingle together.
Yes.
So you
And
know.
they're in an 8 sign, infinity sign. So intentional.
Yes.
You don't notice it unless someone tells you.
Yeah.
And tells you the story, and that's so beautiful. And I was like, that's what I want to infuse in my brand, and
Yeah.
that's what I see in Freedom Queen and what you've built, the intentionality
Yeah.
of the little pieces that resonate with people.
And people, that's the thing. I know.
Yes.
I think it was I think it was lunch we were coming back from, and the guy came up to us at the elevator and said goodbye, or like he said something to us in French when we were standing at the elevator.
Yes, yes.
And it was just that extra touch that someone took to get to know us. Or Priscilla was the woman at Dior.
Yes.
We have each other on WhatsApp now. She's been like texting me stuff
Yeah.
from Dior. Like people want to get to know you. Or William, who keeps delivering the cappuccinos in the morning.
I just saw him before getting in the room.
Oh, really?
He was bringing something in the other room. He's so adorable. People here, the people who work here in this hotel are the nicest people, and they say bonjour every time you pass in
Yeah.
a hallway, and they notice you, and they give you this extra human
Yeah.
connection experience where I've never gotten that in hotels.
Mm-hmm.
People are very cold, and like they might say hi, but here they're trained to be people's person. Like they have to be of service to you,
Yeah.
serve, be nice, be kind, ask you questions, learn about you.
Yeah.
That's what he did yesterday before we got in an elevator. He was asking us our plans for tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And that's something I want to bring in my business, that human connection piece where you're
Yes.
very close to people and serving them in a way that's very elevated.
But like, I think some people take it too far to
Yes.
now they're doers for their clients.
Yes.
They're actually doormats versus here,
Uh-huh.
like they have standards. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, but we love you, but you can't do that. Like
Of
if
course.
you started overstepping a boundary, they'd be like, that's not how
happening
we
here at the
run."
Ritz.
No, like we don't do that.
No.
And that's nice because it makes you respect and value the Ritz even more, because if they did just let anyone do anything, it would be a mess.
Yeah, and the guests are super respectful. They're high-end people themselves. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see anyone arguing or being mean or like being like condescending here.
That's true.
You get that energy back in return, just like when you build a high-end movement and company, you get the best clients that respect you,
Yes.
honor your boundaries, and you can serve them
Yes.
in the best way, just like they did with us this weekend.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk to everyone listening about Saturday's video photo shoot and
Yes.
what that experience was like.
Yes. Oh my God. I love doing photo shoots. Something I've been doing for years. I was in the fitness industry. I was in the hair fashion industry where I did some photo shoots. So when I got in the coaching industry, it was something that I automatically brought on. Like, I need pictures for my brand, but I never elevated it until last year when I hired a stylist and a makeup artist and my photographer and like had this whole production. So I started like infusing it in my brand last year. We were working together back then. You saw the pictures. You know the pictures I'm talking about.
Yes.
I did my color analysis with my stylist, so it was my first time wearing my colors and like kind of getting out there. So when you offered that for the VIP weekend, I was like, of course I'm doing that. That's my next level identity brand being born.
Yeah.
And that was one of the best experiences I've had, because we had a photographer and a videographer.
And then they were married.
Yes, they're a couple, so they worked so well together. And I did something I've never done. Like, we're in the Ritz, so it's very luxurious, elevated, it's beautiful. Every corner is beautiful. And I had these really nice dresses that my stylist picked. And it was, insane. That's all that's coming to mind. Like, I could feel myself being born again.
Yeah.
Taking those videos and those pictures and like really playing the archetypes and playing with my looks and having you there hyping me up and taking B-rolls. Like, this was even better because it was just like giving me that energy and that confidence. And you're going to see those come out soon. Maybe if you're listening to that, there's some of it that's out. But it's just giving me that vision of how everything's going to be evolving, because I evolved in that moment. I could feel myself, posing and moving. I could feel something
chills
being born and something shifting. And that's what Tony Robbins speak a lot on, like physiology.
Yes.
That's why he makes people move. And he's like, when you're in that state of resistance, you should do something. Go brush your teeth, wash your face, move, go jump on a trampoline, like do something that moves the energy. And for me, doing photo shoots does that, because I'm moving, I'm posing, I'm doing these movements that are like patterning. I know you say that a lot, patterning your body to success.
Yes.
That's what I did. I embodied success in my body yesterday by moving, by shooting, by walking, videoing. And I could feel it today. Something shifted in my physiology that's going to be brought to life.
I know.
So do more photo shoots, do more video shoots. Like those are so worth the investment.
Yeah.
Like my return on investment in this weekend, like this photo shoot is twice what I've invested for sure.
Oh yeah.
Or more than that. Like all the content we've gotten and like.
And then everything.
Yeah.
The content out of that. Like last night somehow got into a random photo shoot. That we weren't
Oh my God.
It was
with the car, with the vintage car. Like insane. I mean, when you talk about a pure ROI of VIP weekend, is like the first hour you get there, you get your ROI.
Yeah, we started making content here immediately.
Yes.
Then at Dior, then we went to dinner. Then the next, then we did the shoot.
The conversations at dinner, like everything, like I've never gotten the biggest return on investment, and it's not even done. Like it's absolutely incredible.
And something about in-person stuff is that it will start to trickle out afterwards. I always find this with in-person. So, because in-person, we're present.
Yes.
We're here.
So less on social media,
Yeah.
Although we've been posting some, but we're really present. Really present.
We've been working on a reel together,
yes.
A couple of reels. But like afterwards is when the downloads hit, so you get the ahas. Or what you and I were talking about after in-person experiences, where you go back to your quote-unquote regular life. I use that term very lightly, but you have undergone such an identity shift that it feels like
weird.
You feel different. You're like, I'm not the same. But then that's when all the downloads start coming through, and you can see how you're different.
And that's your opportunity to make moves and change things around and elevate everything. And that's what I shared yesterday. There was 2 instances recently this summer where I had this experience, and then immediately the day after I was grieving and crying and so emotional. And that's what you explained to me. You're like, well, yeah, because you got back in your regular life, normal routine, and you realized you've changed. So this is not going to work out anymore. You need to move and make changes. And and that's what's so powerful with those experiences.
You're grieving and letting go of that old identity.
Yes.
And people think it's bad. I've had so many experiences like that where you do something in person and you just cry afterwards because you're like, oh my God, I'm a completely new human being. And seeing you yesterday in that photo shoot, there was 3 of us in the room. Mm-hmm. The photographer and videographer were married. They recommended the makeup artist.
And she was amazing. So good. We looked beautiful, like the most beautiful we've ever looked. Robbie even said that was your best makeup ever.
He told me that again. We FaceTimed last night.
Yes.
And he was like, this makeup, you have to do this again and again.
Yes, I agree.
It was actually like a darker makeup.
It was very strong. You looked so powerful and so fierce.
It was amazing. And that's something cool about what we do, you and I, is like our business doesn't just impact our clients. It's also the makeup artist, the photographer, the videographer, the bellman downstairs, the William with the cappuccino, like the guy who drove us around last night.
Yes.
Everybody gets to meet you, and you're such a light. And that's what I want everyone to know from my audience. Like, you're already amazing on the internet, but meeting you in person, it anchors it in. It heightens who you are even more. And so
that means a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can build something on the internet, but if people meet you in person and I would hope that you're even more of who you are, because you can't show it all on the internet, or it's like more intense of whatever it is that you are.
And I can totally say the same about you. Absolutely. I love how present you are, because you would think, and I know some people they made the comments, like when they know I work with you, like, oh, this girl is so intense. she must work so much. She must like always be on her phone and like, you know, always be answering clients. And I was like, I mean, I don't know her life, but like, no, like, and then I see you in person, you're like, I'm like, I love how off you can be and be so present with me and have this big business in the background that's just like sustaining itself and like building itself and like trailblazing. And that's been the most inspiring for me because I'm like, this is what I want to build. Like, people say that about me a lot. Oh, Val is so intense. Or like, oh, you look like a grinder. Like, you grind, you hustle, because they see me online showing up. And I'm like, well, I work like 3 hours a day max, and I spend the rest of my day with my kid.
Yeah.
So like, if you call that grind, okay. But like, they think you're on all the time. They think you're working.
You are, yeah.
And then that's what I noticed about you. I'm like, actually, like, and sometimes I would have doubt, like, is Bridge like working so much? You know, she has different content. She doesn't have kids yet. And I was so impressed and so like in awe of your presence and how grounded you are, how you can have this big company and be so present for me and be so there.
And but that's like what creates the big company. And I've gotten that feedback from, I did a retreat in Costa Rica last year. One of my clients was like, you were so calm. Yeah. There was like chaos happening so we were trying to get these clothes, and she was like, you literally didn't care at all. But also I think we were talking about this at dinner, like, people might think you're on more than you actually are. So like, you might sell and then be, I don't know, doing whatever, like in bed or on the couch or just living your life, and people I think they assume that you work more.
And they do assume that a lot about me. And I know when I tell you I work with you, some of them assume that about a woman like you too.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we don't need to prove them wrong. I'm so happy that we're actually not that, and that we are so present, so in our life.
Yeah.
So in the experience, and we can still have very successful business.
And that's like, what I see you've done, that's artistry. That's like flow. Like, your whole life is in flow. So some people are like, oh, my business is here. Yes. And then there's Val, and then there's my relationship. But you have this like cyclical life
ecosystem.
Yes. It all feeds into one another. Yes. I have every person like you, a high level client. There's no division, but there's division. So it's a duality.
It is, but I understand exactly what you mean. Everything feeds into everything, but you know when to draw the line and like be with your kids, with your partner, and then in your business.
Yes. But then it affects one another. So it's like,
you're still working when you're with your kid, and you're still working when you're with your partner. Like, it's different type of work. It infuses.
Yes. It's that creative, like, we were at the spa yesterday. You said, I'm going to get in the pool, and that's when I'm going to have my download for my caption. But you're in the pool relaxing, or you're in the bathtub.
Yeah, and then I go in the sauna, and then I have more downloads. And then I take a few notes, and then I go in the bath that night, and then that's where it all flows. Yes.
Okay, so coming out of this weekend, I know you're traveling tomorrow.
Yes.
South of France. What is your plan, or like your vision? Yes. Things that you're going to be bringing forward.
Oh my God. Well, there's definitely going to be integration. My little boy has been missing his mom, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time with him today and tomorrow. We're flying to South of France, so we're going to Nice. Take a full day off tomorrow.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Yes, like little things here and there that I need to check with my team and stuff, but then like off. If I want to create a piece of content, I'll let myself get inspired. For me, content, yes, is work, but it's also my passion, smart, like you said, artistry. So I'll let the content naturally come, and then we've been like, brainstorming a bunch of content, so I have so many notes. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the first piece. Integration, family time, because that's my two main pillars of life are family and freedom. So that's where I'm going first after a big experience like that, because I know this is going to amplify everything. So those are my pillars. And then content's going to come out. And then this content is going to start like building the foundation for the new brand identity to be born on social media and then in my offers and with my clients. Yeah. So I think next step when I start putting this content out will be, okay, well, I'm going to receive the pictures and the videos. Now, how do we rebrand my signature program, Scaling Visionaries, with a new brand identity? Yeah. And then how do we do that for the membership as well. So my 2-course signature offers.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it's gonna trickle in the next few days, next week. And
Yeah.
yeah, I also have a meeting with my team. I texted them
cool.
this morning. I'm like, I'm having
Yeah.
the most incredible experience. I'm so excited to share like nuggets of wisdom with you and like bring the new vision to life. And like,
Yes.
I love us. Excited to meet you guys. So that's also something probably next week, at the end of next week, I'm going to have a meeting with my team
Cool.
and like kind of share this new vision, like share a little bit of what's been going on, like my trip, this experience,
Yeah.
and brainstorm together, like hold the vision together. And yeah, then I'm going to flow with the rest. But this is definitely, it's going to be like pillars, content, offers, and then the rest of the business.
You're such a visionary woman, and that word keeps coming up. And it's funny, I have a post that starts off with "Dear Visionary Woman"
Oh,
in my
love
drafts,
it.
and it's like, that is what drives the business. You had a vision to do this VIP weekend. We brought the vision to life and then some.
yes.
But then that vision affects your team. I know they're going to be
Yes.
so, and they're already inspired. You've been getting people in your DMs saying things to you.
Yes, on my last post in my DMs, and they're talking about my energy, and that's only one post from
They
this
haven't
weekend,
even seen what I'm
and like a
seeing
few
you.
stories, and they're like, "Oh my god, like this new energy. Oh my god, you haven't this energy where it makes us want to go further."
Yeah.
So I have 2 comments like this in a few DMs where people are already noticing the shift in energy, and for me, I always tell people, if you compliment my energy, that's the best compliment. It's great if you compliment me, say I'm beautiful and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I was beautiful yesterday, but if you notice my energy first, like I won, like I did what I had to do,
Yes.
and people have noticed so far, and it's been 2 days now.
I've noticed. I literally watched you shift in front of my eyes on that. And it's so funny because I don't think like words I don't think the human language can truly
I know.
encapsulate like what happened. So sometimes I'll say things like I'm watching you transform in front of my eyes, and the human language just can't hold how magical that actually
I
was.
know.
Or the moment last night with our driver taking
That
us
was
around.
absolutely incredible. That was just, we were, like you were saying, it was otherworldly. Like it was something, I was in this car and I was like, this is what life is about. When
Yes, you said that.
when you're in a moment that's so extraordinary, yet very simple, but you're like in Paris, you're seeing landmarks, you're in this vintage car. We have an amazing driver who's like
He's so
taking
silly.
pictures, like stopping in the middle of traffic so he can get pictures. And
Yeah,
we're
he's
laughing. He's like,
"Am I get a ticket?"
yeah, I don't know. We watch all the police officers. So there's like this mix of like spontaneity and like quirkiness and fun and like risk and like
Yes.
play. And I was just like, that's why we come on Earth, to
Yes, you
have
said
moments
that.
like this. That's literally what landed in that moment. I'm like, I'm in one of the landmark of the world. I see the Eiffel Tower in this vintage car. Everyone's looking at us.
Everyone,
'Cause
center of
the-
attention.
Yeah, because the car is insane. Like everyone's taking pictures. Like, look at this car, and we're just laughing, taking pictures. We're about to go get dinner, and I'm like, this is why I came here, for moments like this, and not to like. Yes, money is great. Yes, luxury is great. Yes, success and recognition. But no, this is it.
Yeah.
This and making babies. That's
Yes.
what I said.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what you said last night.
yes. That's
what I'm
why
here
I
to
came.
do.
Yeah, that's what I'm here to do. That's why I came on Earth, to live crazy, fun, extraordinary experiences and make babies, so that they can also do that and
Yeah.
like become visionaries themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
I can see that from meeting Mavi and
Yes.
Nico. Like they're both visionaries.
Yes.
You can just tell, like the way he ran in and sat on your lap,
I
and
know. Oh my god. He's sleeping right now in my room, and I can't wait to like go cuddle. And yeah, I think that was the best. Like that moment right there was
Yeah.
so perfect, because I had no idea he was gonna come in the Ritz. I thought he was
Yes.
gonna be around and maybe then text me, be like, I'm gonna go to your room. So he probably asked where we were, because he knew exactly where we were. And then you see
yeah.
him.
I'm like, isn't
You're
that
like,
Nico?
Is that Nico? And I can hear Maddie. He's like, Mama. He runs to me. We're in this nice fancy breakfast spot, the Ritz. Sits on me, asks to taste everything that's in front. I was like, this is the fact that this happened during our VIP weekend is so beautiful.
Of course. I want to look up that quote so I don't mess it up. It's like God is doing seemingly more than you can. Let me just look it up.
Yes.
Ask, think, or imagine. There's this quote. It's like God is then you can ask. Something like
God is doing more than you ask or imagine.
Robbie knows it and he says it to me all the time. Like
You should ask him and then put it in the
I'll put
caption,
it
in the show
in
notes.
the show notes. But it's like at any point in time, something magical can happen. Like we didn't plan for Nico to come to the breakfast at all. Suddenly he's there. It's this magical moment. Last night we thought we were just gonna take. Like I thought, oh, we're getting a nice car. I knew that.
Yes.
But I thought, oh, we'll just get in. We'll like take some pics, just you and I.
Outside before we leave and then drive there.
And then this guy, as soon as we walked up, he had a whole other plan. He had an agenda far beyond what we could have even imagined. And that's life. Like
We got a whole other photo shoot from this.
yes,
Like,
video,
videos, pictures.
in front of every landmark that you could want to take a photo from.
Yes.
In front of and like the best, better than every other tourist there.
Yes.
And at lightning speed. Like how
Yes.
that's something that that's also something that stuck out in the letter you wrote to yourself this morning. You said I think you said lightning speed.
Yeah, I said something like at a speed that regular people won't comprehend. So yeah,
Yes.
lightning speed. Most like it's a speed that people they look at you and they're like, how did she do that? It's not logically possible. Just your business growth, like my business growth.
Yes.
It's if you look at the stats of like typical business owner, they have this graph where you should be the average business owner will grow this percent every year, and we do like 100% growth, 200%, like insane, illogical growth. So I'm like, this is what's happening for me. Like people are gonna look at me and be like, how did she move at lightning speed like that?
Yes.
And that's I think something we both have, and people have still to this day tell me like it's a bad thing about me. And I know sometimes it can be like hindering. Sometimes you rush into things, or like you don't take your time and then you're clumsy and something happens and you have to go back. But I know that my speed is my superpower.
Yes.
And I know you say money loves speed, and I absolutely agree with that. Whenever I move fast from integrity, from alignment, like money flows fast, opportunities flow fast. So I love my speed. And this guy was like, it was fun. The speed was part of the experience.
He was crazy. He'd be like, okay, really quick, get fast, get out of the car, take the photo, okay, get back in the car.
Yes.
And we're like, okay.
That was so fun. And we were also, we were a bit tired, so we were ready to go get dinner, and it was funny.
Yes.
And we would get the pictures fast, and they were good. Like, he's a really good photographer.
He was amazing.
iPhone photographer. He was amazing. He does that for a living, so he knows.
He's like driving, reaches out of the window, high fives a police officer in the street, and then he's like taking airdrop so fast. You were
While
trying to find, he's like, give it to me. And then he does it, airdrops while driving us to dinner. And again, that was something that we couldn't have even expected.
No.
We couldn't imagine that, but it was waiting there for us.
It was a surprise, a magical surprise.
Yeah, it's like, what else is waiting for you? Like,
I love this.
Tomorrow, today. When you
in this moment, when you stop listening to this podcast, you're taking a walk, you're taking a bath, or like, working, like, the moment after, it could be magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just never know, and being open to them. And then this is how suddenly things start shifting for you, because behind the scenes, all these mysterious, it's like God works in mysterious ways. Like that guy who was our driver, we didn't plan for, or just little things like we didn't know the videographer, photographer were coupled, and they knew the makeup artist, and it was going to work out perfectly. We didn't know that we were going to get the suite upstairs that had this massive balcony, and we could see the Eiffel Tower. Like none of that was a part.
We could see the whole city of Paris. And then when my stylist sent me the inspiration pictures.
Oh my gosh.
And that was that's insane. So my stylist basically prepared my looks and gave me some inspiration poses for each of my look. And there was one of this look that I'm doing on a bed, a lace dress with a blazer. And she sends me this inspiration picture. Her name is Rosie, like the Victoria's Secret model. And she's on a bed. And we get to the suite, and it's the same room from the picture. So I literally did the pose
Yes.
of, you know, the picture she sent me in the same room. It's literally the same place.
Yes.
Like she shot at the Ritz.
Yes.
In this bed, in this suite.
Yes.
And I did too. That was the biggest synchronicity. I was like, that's actually insane.
I want people to see these side by side.
Like, I have to post it. I have to post, like, that'll be a story that I share.
Yes.
Yes.
My vision.
And I immediately texted my stylist, and she was like, what the hell? That's actually insane.
Yeah, and we're so quick to bypass these things, but I know after this weekend you'll just have a moment even reflecting on that of like, what? I'm so glad we're documenting this too, so I can go back
all
and
the little
listen.
miracles that happened and will keep happening after.
Yes.
As a ripple effect in your life, in my life, in everyone that we came across, you know, like the staff here, our driver, Priscilla at Dior, makeup artist, and Anastasia. The people we work with, like, I'm sure they're having their own moments, their own ripple effect from whatever they learned or did this weekend with us.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Every single's life is touched and it's changed. And I've had people reach out again and say, like, thank you. You changed everything. So I know something really cool about Val is you have the freedom-based business. You do effortless content. You're an incredible mother. You're pregnant right now.
Yes.
You're going to Mexico next year.
Yes. We're, like, living there for a year. Probably more. Cause
beautiful home.
In a, like, multi-million-dollar home. I'm so happy we did that move, because that's going to elevate the hell out of my life and business, and it's going to be incredible.
Well, how can my audience get connected with you? Because everyone listening, something I highly recommend you go and contact Val, learn about what she's doing is in the freedom-based business model and this product suite that you have where it's truly scalable, 2 offers, driving this new elevated content to it. So how can my audience get connected with you and learn what you're doing?
Absolutely. So Instagram is the best way to reach out. Val Benoit, VALBENOIT. And obviously my content is in French. I'm French Canadian, so that was so fitting that we're in Paris. But feel free to reach out, DM me. I'm still doing my DMs. Like, I'm still, like, I love being in my DMs and, like, you know, chatting with my community. Like, I love being close to people. So shoot me a message. Would love to chat. I obviously am fluent in English, French too. So if you want to message me in French, and we could talk about, like, how we can work together and, like, you know, share visions and just also, if you're not a DM type person, just, like, follow me and, like, get inspired by my content. Even if you don't understand everything, you can translate the caption and you can get the feel and the emotion from my stories. And I'm very Fringlish. That's what I share with you. Like, franglais. So I'm very much, like, my life is mainly in English, and then I have French, or I'd say, like, maybe 60% English, 40% French. So I do infuse a lot of English here and there. And I told you that that's one of my goals, to get in the English industry at some point and do something. I don't know what it will be exactly, if it will be a replicate of the business model I have right now or, like, something else, but that's coming. I'm letting God decides and plan this for me, and, like, I'm letting just my intuition flow. I know, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to speak French to work with Val. Like,
yeah,
we
absolutely
work together,
not.
And you don't market in English.
No. There will be, like, there's absolutely ways to work with me and get close to me if you speak English, for sure. So don't hesitate to reach out and connect. I would love that.
She's a magical human, and the fact that you are bilingual, it just, to me, it's like increases the high-end quality to the moon and beyond.
And hopefully trilingual after living in Mexico.
I'm definitely going to Spanish together.
Yes, I'm definitely committing to learn some Spanish. Going to live in Mexico, obviously. Yes. So maybe 3 languages eventually.
Every single course is translated. Well, this has been amazing. I know we're going to say goodbye to one another soon. And everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to link a bunch of videos below and some quotes from the weekend and do a little reflection in the caption. And Val, this has been the best VIP week. Truly the best VIP weekend ever.
Truly, like, one of the best weekends of my life. Like, it will change everything forever. I'm so grateful for you. So grateful for us.
Bye.
Bye.